So hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm not feeling my hair today, like I hate it, it's too frizzy. But anyway, today I'm going to be reflecting on 2020, which is a mad one because obviously the year 2020 was a mad one. But I'm just going to talk about my experience of the year, how I found it overall, and just things in terms of friendships, family, school, and lockdowns. I have my notebook right here, by the way. So yeah, if I look over, it's because I'm looking in my notebook. So school, wow. If you've watched my experience of being a year 11 in 2020 video, then you will know that I was in obviously year 11 last year. So I had my GCSE exams cancelled, which was a experience, to put it lightly. So I will link that video if you want to go and check it out. It's quite a long one, I think 17 minutes, but yeah. So just to kind of sum it up, I had my exams cancelled, as I said. I did get some really good results. I also got one bad result, but that's fine. Obviously I missed out on getting the full year 11 experience. You know, we didn't have prom, we didn't have NCS, we didn't have all the things that usually year 11s would get. I also spent a considerable time during lockdown doing absolutely nothing other than sitting on my bed, drinking coffee and watching Hollyoaks clips all day long. I must have done that for about 2 months straight, honestly. But yeah, in terms of school, it was a very weird end to school, as I said in that video. The last day was really strange because not many people were there. It was just us. We didn't know what was happening with exams. We didn't know if they were still going to go ahead or if they were cancelled. And the weather was really miserable, which obviously wouldn't usually have happened if everything was normal, because we would have finished in June rather than March. So yeah, pretty much it about school. I don't really want to talk too much about school because I have made a video on that, which I've said about 3 times now. So I will link that as well. Honestly, this tiny speck right here is really annoying me. It's something to do with the light. It goes when I move, but then if I sit like that, it's going to irritate people because I'm off centre. I mean, it would irritate me, so I understand. Okay, so in terms of lockdowns, now, obviously we have the first national lockdown, we have the national lockdown in November, and we're in one now, but obviously this is 2021, I'm talking about 2020. So the first one, now, as horrible and boring as the first one was, it was a vibe. Like, if we could go back to that first national lockdown, I would. Because obviously you had all the trends on TikTok, like the Tiger King thing, there was the whipped coffee, there was the cannibal dance, there was so many that I don't know, that first lockdown was just a vibe. That was energy that cannot be matched. Another good thing about the first lockdown was I didn't actually have to do anything, because when our exams were cancelled, we pretty much finished our content. There was still like some of it left that we hadn't learned, but the majority of it we had learned. So I didn't really have a lot to do other than the A-level transition work that our school set, but I didn't really start that until later on. I mean, I think the only schoolwork I did in that entire like lockdown period, where it wasn't summer, just lockdown, was some maths, because I thought that maths might have been a subject that I had to resit. Luckily it wasn't, but I didn't really do any work. Like I said, I just sat on my bed and watched YouTube all day, every day, because I was that bored. Another thing that me and my family did in the lockdown was we went and sat in our garden, and we got like the paddling pool, and my parents got some drinks and stuff, and we just sat there and like enjoyed the weather, because it was good to get out of the house, but we couldn't really do anything else other than that. So we were lucky. I think with the first lockdown we were lucky with the timing, because obviously it was spring getting into summer. This one we're a bit more unlucky because it's midwinter, so like we can't even go outside or like go for a walk without being freezing cold. But that first one, the weather was the best. We started to come out of lockdown around, I think it was around July time, and then this kind of gets onto the friendships part, so I'll just cover the November lockdown and then I'll get into the friendships. The November lockdown was pretty standard. It was very boring, you know, school was open but all the fun stuff was shut, so we couldn't really do a lot. It was just a month of going to school and going home. Well, for me that was a pretty boring experience. I mean, I was happy to be in school though after missing such a long time in the first lockdown. But yeah. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the friendship side, so my social interactions, if you like. So for like the first few months, obviously there was January and February. Everything was going smoothly, I think. Like I was friends with everyone I was friends with. And then obviously lockdown happened. I had some arguments with people. I mean, I guess this topic really isn't relevant to the situation, but you know, if it's a reflecting on 2020 video, I guess it is relevant in a way. But anyway, I'm not indirecting anyone in particular when I'm talking about friendships. I'm literally not. I'm just talking about generally arguments I have with people generally. So if you're any of those people that may feel indirected, please don't feel indirected, because I'm not attacking you, it's just generally. To about July, August time, and obviously that was summer and lockdown started to get lifted and I was allowed to meet up with my friends again. And I started meeting up with some friends from school, and then I think it was me and one of my friends. I'm not going to mention names in this video because, you know, for their own reasons. So I started meeting up with this one person who I've been friends for a long time before that, and that was really nice because we hadn't spoken in a while. So we just kind of was meeting up, and then we were meeting up one time, and the weather, it was so hot. The weather was so hot, but it was nice at the same time. And we went over to like Bexley Heath. It took a while to get to, but it was nice, like it was. And we went to this park, and it had like a lake, this play area and all that. It was really nice. And then after that we came home, and then I think we met up the next day, and we went to a place. I'm not actually going to say that for personal reasons, this place that we went to. But basically this place had a skate park, and then me and my friend were sitting there, and she was like, I just remember her saying, I want to make some friends. So we kept going back there, and then we found like there was this skate park, and we sat there, and the first day that we actually went to the skate park area, like we met a bunch of people and we instantly became friends with them. So that was really nice because it gave us something to do through summer. Obviously that whole period spent in lockdown, we weren't even allowed to see anyone. So once summer came and that all happened and we was meeting up with people pretty much every day, it was really nice just to have that kind of social aspect of life again. We did that for quite a long time. I'd say a month pretty much every day. Well, not every day for me, but I know that others did, because I obviously it's not obvious, is it? I went to see my grandparents. I had family stuff to do as well, like, well, not even stuff to do, but just like going out with my family and stuff. So around I'd say September, maybe middle of September to October, maybe it could have been earlier than that, I don't remember exactly. And then there was some drama that happened in this skate park, right? These people, I remember saying, I started it and I didn't mean to start it, but we were in the skate park, and then I remember on social media a few of the people that like actually skate properly there, because I had a skateboard and I would skate there, but I mean like the people that would take it really seriously and that, they started being on their social media like, oh, you guys need to stop littering around the skate park and all this, and they would like, come here to skate, but just if you're going to hang around, just go away to like another place or the park or whatever that was next to it. Which, fair enough, because if they're trying to skate, then obviously they don't want people in the way just hanging around not really skating, because otherwise what's the point? So then I remember shouting to these bunch of people, well, not them, but like there was people above them. It's not these people I was talking about that like spoke to us. I was talking about some other people that were above them, and I was like, you guys shouldn't be here because you're not skating. They were just kind of like sitting around, not standing around, hanging around, not doing anything. So to be honest, I shouldn't really have said anything, but anyway, to continue with the story, they came over to us, and then we got into this big argument with these people and us, so our group that had been there for a while. And then I remember, oh my god, we literally had to run around because we didn't know if they were going to try and attack us or whatever. We had to run around. And honestly, I made the stupid mistake of telling my parents about this, and then they banned me and I was never allowed to go to the skate park again. So that was a fun experience, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that I don't go in a way. I mean, I miss the people there, so if any of you guys are watching this, text me, because, you know, we need to arrange something for after lockdown, because I miss you all. But anyway, why I'm happy I don't go there anymore, because it gives me more time to focus on other things, such as YouTube, my schoolwork, which is the main thing in my life right now. very boring life. I started sixth form. Now that was a very humbling experience because now I'm going to say this, although the people watching this probably already know this. So when I was in year 11 and year 10, I used to hang around with some of the people in the year below. Not because I didn't have friends in my own year like people in my year and their year seem to think, but just because I genuinely got on with them really well. And like, we just bonded so well and we just had such great fun when we were all a group together. And obviously my best friend at the time was part of that group. She kind of introduced me to them, and that's how we all became friends. When I started sixth form, it was different because now people not from my school, I mean, if you're from my school, obviously you know this, but we actually have two sides to our school. There's one site and there's another. Now my year 11 friends, because they're in year 11 now, so I just refer to them as my year 11 friends, they're at one site and now I'm at the other site, whereas last year we were all at the same site. So, I mean, there's one time that I go to that site a week, and that's for my English lesson on Thursday, so I don't even really get to see them then. But yeah, so starting sixth form was a mad one, especially because we'd been out of school for such a long time and we didn't do our GCSEs. I was a bit worried about how sixth form was going to go, but it was good. Like, it was a good start to what my life was going to be like for the next 2 years. And I mean, before we started sixth form, I remember being so scared about one of my subjects. So I do geography, English lit, and psychology. I had to think about that for a moment there. And I remember being so scared about English because although I chose English lit, I actually don't like reading. I actually hate reading with a passion. If you're my English teacher watching this, please just click off. I'm joking. Obviously, my English teachers are not going to be watching this video. So yeah, I was very scared about that, especially the poetry part, because not even that I particularly disliked poetry, it just was not my strong point. Like, the other two bits, drama and prose, I could kind of handle, but poetry was not it. I was struggling. I struggled with poetry at GCSE. So I was like, I'm so scared. Another thing I was scared about was the people in the class. I wasn't too sure, like, if I was going to have a good class or not. Now, what I mean by that is I wasn't sure if I was going to actually have any of my friends in that class. I was like, am I just going to be sat here being bored, not being able to, like, talk to anyone about this? And that wasn't the case. I was very happy when I found out the people who were actually in my class. I was like, yes, this is going to be so good. And now still, even though we're doing online learning now, still English is my favourite subject. Even though I've wanted to do psychology at uni since year 10. English is now my favourite, and I'm considering doing an English degree instead. But anyway, from about September till now, sixth form's been going pretty well. I mean, we have assessments. I don't know if they're assessments or mocks or whatever in like a few weeks, and they're basically happening on Teams, which is a bit scary. I know I have one of the dates for my English ones. I'm not worried about that though. I just have to revise for it. And I think my psychology teacher said something about some kind of mock online, which is a bit scary because psychology just scares me. I don't know about any of my geography. Did I even say that right? I don't think so. Or my other English exams. I don't know what's happening with them, but I mean, I'm not stressing about it. This year? Now, I know 2020 was a very boring year overall, but one good thing I would say was that obviously I spent a lot of time with my family and so did everyone else, but I feel like one of the biggest good things to come out of it was that I actually now feel closer to my family than I did before, and I had a conversation with my dad about it a few weeks ago as well, just before London went into tier 3. I remember we was out because it was our last night of freedom, so yeah, and we were just talking about both lockdowns, what happened overall in 2020. Was it a good year? Was it not? Obviously no, but yeah, so that is one good thing. I feel like I really do feel closer to my family now than I did before, not because I don't like my family or because I don't get along with them, but just because we've spent so much time confined in this like one space together. I don't know. Obviously 2020 had its bad moments. It had a lot of them. We've looked at this quote on Instagram ages ago, and it said lockdown was a blessing in disguise, and honestly, yes, because although it was boring, it really gave me time, and like, it's not just me, I'm talking about so many people. I know so many people that feel the same. It really kind of gave me a chance to reflect on the kind of person I am and grow from that in a way. So it was a crazy year, but it wasn't all bad. So I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video on Monday. Bye!